Alright, so here's 9 tips which are pretty much essential to playing zombies at any level, right? So like think Easter eggs or high rounds or whatever. But like no one teaches these. They're not even in like tutorials or anything. But if you play zombies from way back then, so think like World at War, Black Ops 1, right? These are those classic things that you just follow, right? But yeah, not quite obvious. So let's just get into this. Alright, the first one is going to be point maxing during early rounds, right? So might be a lost art nowadays, but nowadays like a lot of maps have a lot of stuff to do early on. So you kind of want to get these points to open up the map, right? So ideally you need to maximize points in the early rounds, so rounds 1 to 3 or 1 to 4, right? So here's how we normally do it, right? So with the exceptions of Shadows of Evil, right? So like you use one of the different pistols which is stronger, right? Every other map on round 1, what you gotta want to do is shoot 6 times in the body and melee them, right? Or, you know, that's a classic way, but it can be a bit fancier, shoot them 8 times in the leg and melee, right? So, listen, killing a zombie normally without this way, without meleeing them, only grants 60 points, right? Unless it's a headshot, which grants 100. So, you'll be operating at a loss so you don't kill them, right? So, you know, so round 2, you're gonna have a little bit less ammo in the pistol. So, I just shoot a whole clip and then melee them, right? So, probably run out of ammo, but you know. So, the key thing here is like, on earlier rounds, just try and finish them off with a melee, right? Gotta give you the most points. Round 3, I personally buy an RK5 and, you know, 1 burst in the melee, and the same works for round 4, right? So the general consensus is round 1 to 4, you know, try and maximize the pistol, but always kill them with a melee, right? So right, from rounds 5 onwards, right, you don't need to get melees anymore, except when you get insta kills, right? But what you're just gonna do from now on is just shoot for the head, right? So just gets the most points, and yeah. This is sort of the nice balance between getting the kills quickly and getting the most points. So to shoot for the aim for the head from round 5 onwards, alright? So, alright, point 2 now. This is by far the most important thing to learn in zombies, right? You'll find this game 15 times harder, I'm guessing, if you play this without doing like training, right? So it's very simple. I'll teach you, but I won't lie, I have one condition. And please do not look up what they, right? I want to reiterate, they, not me. I was like 9 years old. Called training back in 2011, right? So, all right, just not me, but so all training is grouping up zombies before shooting them. You can see them coming through real quick, boys, and instead of shooting them, just like group them up. It comes with benefits also, maximizing points quality through the bullet goes through all these guys and stuff, but grouping them up just lets you control the situation a lot more, right? So all you need to know for training, right? All you're doing is grouping them up and looking ahead and going into open spaces, right? So it's literally going in a circle for a bit, sometimes circling back on yourself to group them up closer and just shooting them, right? So when training, there's like 3 things you can consider that makes it a lot more, it makes more sense, right? So number 1 is at any time there may only be 24 zombies at once spawned in. So literally grouping these guys up for like 20 seconds will allow you to like shoot them without one hitting you from behind, because all 24 are right in front of you, right? So just group them all up and then shoot them, so it's safe and it's like you get the most points because all of them are there, right? Second of all is health economy. So it's not really about not getting hit while training, right? So with Jug you got like 5 hits, so if you can see a gap and you know you'll get hit like maybe 1 or 2 or maybe 3 times, you just go for that gap, as long as it's not dangerous gap that you just die from, right? So you're just trading hits. And yeah, the third thing, have fun. Alright, the rest will be more quick fire, right? So those who need a bit more explanation, they have a bit of nuance, right? So number 3 is build the shield. So if your map has a shield, just build it, right? So it protects your back 100%. It protects your back, like no damage comes through, right? So 180 degrees of your 360 degrees, all like damage free, right? It's free as well. So once you build it, once it breaks, pick one up, right? So making one when you're new to the game, having a shield in your back just makes the game much more fun, right? You can just like actually play zombies without just getting like insta killed, right? So helps you record, you know, to turn around, you know, 3 parts around the map normally, right? So just look up a tutorial or something and just build it. Once it's built, it stays there forever, right? For the whole game, all right? So number 4 is crutch perks, all right? So I'm not hating on crutch perks for one. Like I always pick these perks up because the sole reason is that they turn the game, which normally requires me to lock in, right? Zombies is quite like intense, right? It turns it into a nice chill game. Everything becomes much more easier, right? So if you're on Black Ops 3, this would be Widow's Wine. Black Ops 4 would as well, and you know, etc., right? So let's look up Black Ops 3, just look at Widow's Wine. So if a zombie hits you, all zombies around you are stuck. They don't move and they're stuck. So you know, this uses up a grenade, but it lets you just escape. And if you do kill them while they're stuck, you get a chance to get that sort of grenade back. So you can constantly farm it and just play chill, right? So it's no like really quick they'll surround you and kill you anymore. It's just like if you make a mistake, you can fix it. So it just turns the game chill. So if all else, if you don't listen to any of the tips in the video, at least get this perk. It makes the game much more fun, right? So it's on half the map's physical location, the perk machine you can buy it from, but the other half, which is not on, you're just gonna go to the Wonder Fizz and try and get it from there, right? There's no other way. All right, number 5, perk allotment. Now we were on the topic of perks. Now let's think about this, right? So it might be obvious if you play zombies, but if you don't play zombies, here's what perk you have to get, right? So obviously Juggernaut, everyone knows that even if you don't play zombies, gives you extra health, literally just lets you play more risky and just play better, right? But you gonna want to always grab double tap 2.0, right? So all it does is every bullet you shoot from a gun splits into 2, so you're just doing double damage and it just makes everything better, right? So for any Easter eggs, definitely essential to get this, right? So on solo you also need to pick up quick revive as well, because it's the only way to revive yourself. So yeah, and obviously honorable mentions, Widow's Wine, who will dash you forth. All right, number 6, point guns. Simply put, every time you shoot a zombie you get 10 points, right? And when you train them up, the bullet goes through a bunch of them and gets 10 points every zombie it hits. So you should always carry, at least on like the early game or mid games, a weak gun side. So literally all SMGs, some pistol or anything, right? So you train them all up, you shoot them. Like, take a look at this video in the background where you're just farming points, right? You farm tons of points and you kill them slowly, so you're carrying the gun in again. So it's perfect for early rounds. So it's about money to open the map and get perks and such. And I mean, compare what we just saw with the gun to like killing with the sniper to get like 60 points each, as I mentioned earlier. So yeah, definitely have like a weak gun on the side, right? Number 7, some gun characteristics. Now, gobble guns are cool. But there's this section's not talked about, like perkaholic and stuff. Just as a reminder, alright? There's some gobble gums like anywhere but there or in plain sight. It makes you invincible when popping them. So like, if you get cornered, just know to pop one. I mean, it's simple, right? It's actually invincible, right? So it pairs well with Widow's Wine or shield, so you can turn around with the shield if you're getting cornered. And while they're hitting the shield, is anywhere but here, or in plain sight, and everything's fine, right? So just a reminder that you got these little get out of jail free cards. So it's a really hard game, Black Ops 3. We have so many sort of things that you can get that makes it a lot more fun, right? All right, number 8, pack a punch, alternate ammo ties. Now, you can pack a punch a gun and it becomes better, but you can pack punch it again and it gets a special effect. It doesn't get better, but it gets a special effect, right? So not all of these special effects are created equally. And 10 years later, some real gems have appeared, right? So Thunderwall's always been hated on, right? Because it kills like 4 zombies, but it does it very quickly, right? The fastest killing one, right? So if you're training, you can have Thunderwall and you can just clear a path if you think it's like a risk, right? Just shoot that, right? So I like Thunderwall. Like maybe I have a clip in the background showing it a bit, but no, along with Thunderwall, I'd recommend Blast Furnace, because as you see in this clip, it just, if you're really good at training, keep them all like close together, you can just kill the whole thing. It's really cool, right? As a new player, I would avoid, if you're not good for Hiranza, if you're doing Easter egg, I'd avoid Dead Wire. It's quite good. It kills a few people, but it's like Thunderwall, but very slow. So yeah, wouldn't recommend that. Turned is also good because it just kills the zombie that turns your side and just kills other zombies, but you can kill a lot of zombies sometimes. It might not be the best for Easter egg, right? And finally, drops, and also the drop cycle. Now, it might get a bit technical, right? So if you made it this far, thank you. Now, let me get into some hidden features of some drops, right? So there are certain drops that do not spawn into your game unless a certain event is triggered, right? So, for example, death machines do not drop unless you have quick revive or one person in your game has bought quick revive, right? Most famously, my favorite drop, fire cells, that makes all the box locations active and makes them 10 points, right? So it does not spawn in unless somebody has gotten the teddy box, the teddy from the mystery box, right? So that's some stuff about the drops, but here's what we talk about the drop cycle. Now, here's a list of all the drops in a game of zombies, a classic game of zombies. So let's look at this, right? So let's assume the first drop you get in your game is the insecure. At round 2 or something, you get an insecure. The drop cycle means you will not get another insecure until you've gotten each and every drop in this list. I'm not telling you this so you can track it, right? I'm just saying that, all I'm saying is that in your head, if you get a max ammo midway through your game, you should now think that, oh, okay, it could be a while till I get my next one, instead of hoping the next drop has an equal chance of being a max ammo as well, right? So that's just something to think about, and bye bye now.